why do we feel like we need to people please? Like, why do we feel like we have to live on other people's terms? Why? And at 30, I'm finally learning that it's not okay, because we only have one life to live. How y'all doing? Welcome to Letters to 30. I'm Nicole, and y'all already know that. Thank y'all, everybody who has been tuning into these videos week after week. You know, I'm trying to get my routine going. It's not easy, but the whole point of this channel is to live authentically, y'all. So this one is all about people pleasing. I am getting ready to go out, actually. So I'm going to do a get ready with me as I talk about this. And to be real, like, this might make it so much easier for me to talk about people pleasing, because this is a heavy topic. It's quite emotional for me. And to be real with y'all, right now I'm recording this. It is June 28th, okay? It is June 28th. We're still in Pride Month. And you might be like, why did I gotta do with people pleasing? Like, how you go from people pleasing to I'm a lesbian? But it's Pride, so I'm gonna say it however I need to say it, okay? But the truth is, it wasn't always easy for me to say that. And like, I feel like I lived my life in a bubble. I was living in fear of coming out, y'all. And like I said, like, I didn't know if this was a video I was gonna do. Not because it's emotional. I've cried on this channel plenty of times. It's not even about that. Like, I just genuinely didn't know if people cared. Like, why you care that you're gay? Like, girl, okay? Like, why would you care that I'm gay? But the truth is, little Nicole, little 12-year-old Nicole, little 8-year-old Nicole, like, needed this. She needed someone to show her that you can get out of that box. You can stop people pleasing and live authentically in who you are. And you might be clicking this and be like, well, I'm not gay. This all has nothing to do with me. I get it. But when I look back over my life, it don't have anything to do with my sexuality. It all has to do with people pleasing and fitting into other people's boxes of you. So I just want to start off with, I just left a church service for, it's FCBCLA. When I lived in New York, it was FCBC New York, but they moved and had a chapter here. And Pastor Mike Warond, he is incredible. And every year during Pride, he does a Pride Sunday, and I just left that service, and I didn't even realize that that was going to be the service that I just went to. The reality is that the more you people please, the more you lose yourself. Have you ever been in a room where everybody around you was full of joy and light and you were miserable? Have you ever just felt like you changed and conformed for a space just to make everyone happy, and then you look back and you're like, wait, I'm miserable? Codependency and feeling like you need to validate other people's feelings, we're leaving that in our 20s. It took me until I was 28 to actually let go of feeling like I needed to have approval from anyone for my life choices. And once again, this isn't all about sexuality. This is across the board and just who you are. And the more you lean into other people's like opinions and making other people comfortable, you're only tearing yourself apart. Like, Pastor Mike said this perfectly. What if your life existence was meant to be a courageous act of rebellion? We are raised to think that certain things aren't right. We are raised to think that you can't be who you are. If that means a career that you want, if that means the person you love, if that means moving to a new city, if that means taking on hobbies, if that means changing your hair, You being authentically who you are and living authentically is when you choose freedom. And usually when people have an issue with how you live authentically, the problem is in themselves. They themselves are not living authentically. And they just project onto you because they see you breaking out. The moment that you start living in your light, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Like, seriously, the moment you start doing that, systems have to change. And y'all, when I tell you it's a reflection of who they are and not who you are, it is their journey. When we talk about people pleasing, you're pleasing people's problems that they have with themselves. And you're just the collateral damage because you feel like you have to coddle. And the moment that you let go of that, on the other side of that is so much peace. And the thing is, you are made in God's perfect image. And sometimes God puts you in situations to help other people come to terms with whatever they got going on. And that's not yours to bear. What is your priority here on earth? Is it for you to find joy? Or is it for you to make sure everyone else is happy? Alright, sorry y'all. I'm not talking during this part because blending the foundation is so important to me. You know I'm only going to motivate here on this channel. Like, we going to sit and talk about the real, like, what happened. But I got to keep it real and motivate. Because little Nick never imagined this. Okay? Like, little Nick never thought this would be her reality. And I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about me just speaking up, using my voice, saying it like it is. It's like I am an empath, okay? So I see why people are who they are. I see why we people please. I see why. But how many excuses are you going to give until you just start living exactly the life that you want to live? Like, they're not living in your body, okay? And like, the truth is, we might think that certain relationships should not have people pleasing, but you're people pleasing for a reason. Like, and the norm of not, and if people have a problem with you not people pleasing, if people aren't committed to you fully healing, and if they have a problem with you just being who you are, then they don't need to be in your life. Sometimes you got to remove people from your life to really seek the freedom that you want. Y'all, I feel like I can talk again now. I got this foundation on. It was blowing me because I need to blend. But the thing is that freedom, I just remember, y'all, like, the first time I went to therapy, like, I just kept talking about freedom. I want freedom. I want to feel free. I want to feel free. I remember saying that, like, in my early 20s. Like, I just want to feel free. And it's like, the truth is, freedom only comes within you being who you are. That's it. I'm here to tell you, no one's going to come and find you. You have to find yourself. Okay? Which means waking up and doing whatever you want to do because you want to do it. And that unlocks so much in me, y'all. If you're doing things and making life decisions for other people, it's going to catch up with you. The moment that you stop people pleasing, and really, like, for tips, there aren't really many tips that I can share in this video. Like, I'm just going to share the emotions that I went through because it's really an emotional thing and something that you have to sit with. We all have traumas that make us who we are, but our personalities cannot get looped into the traumas. Our personalities cannot get swooped into what we've been through to get to this point. We can't be mad at this of the people who made us feel like we had to people please, because you're in control of your body at the end of the day. You people please because you feel like you had to. You're responsible for that, regardless of anything that has happened, and taking accountability for that. Joy is on the other side of that. And it's like, sometimes people don't really know exactly what they want or who they are. And the thing is, you don't have to know who you are. You just need to live. If you could do whatever you wanted with nobody's opinion, nobody's opinion, nobody watching, not for the attention, not to be liked, what is it? And do it unapologetically. And the moment you do that, people's heads turn. People are not comfortable with audacious authenticity. Audacious authenticity. I wish I could have been vlogging in my teenage year, my middle school years, my teenage years, my 20s. I really wish I could have been vlogging so y'all could see the difference in who I am now versus then. And that's why I wanted to start this channel. Like, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. My coming out journey is the reason why I wanted to start this channel, because I knew that living authentically was not easy for me. And I got on the other side of it because I refuse to let anybody or anything steal my joy, because I have a whole lot of it inside of me. I have a whole life to live filled with joy, and people pleasing was never gonna be the answer. You have to start with small boundaries. I just put my hair back and I don't know why. You really gotta start with small boundaries if you are trying to avoid people pleasing, y'all. I'm not saying that people change. Are going to change, but you change. The moment you start setting boundaries with people who don't respect who you are, even if they don't change, you have confidence in yourself because you're not gonna put up with the stuff. And you have everything inside of you to live a life worth the joy. You don't need anybody or anything to keep you from doing what you gotta do. But the moment that people are removed from your life, that's a courageous act of rebellion to show people that you will not be conforming to their comfort. But at the same time, y'all, you don't make decisions based on pain. You don't make decisions based on trauma. You make decisions based on who you are, your personality, and who honors you. And that took me a while to accept. I constantly would think about, if I can't be 100% authentic, then I gotta be done. Like, I can't. Like, it went from one extreme to the next. I felt like for so long that I was not being who I was to make other people comfortable. And then the next day I woke up like, I ain't doing this no more. I can't do it no more. Like, okay? And I had to realize that is me responding in a place of pain, a place of trauma. This is my Danessa Myricks blush, and this is in shade Jubilee. And the thing is, y'all, there are people in your life where you don't need to people please for. Lean into those relationships. Lean into those relationships and know that nothing is missing from you. You have everything you need and you are exactly who you are meant to be, regardless of what anyone thinks about it. Urban Decay translucent setting powder. People pleasing can change the trajectory of your life. That's crazy. Because if I were to rob myself out of that joy, out of that desire to find love, that's heartbreaking. Obviously, there's going to be things in relationships that we just don't want to do. I'm not calling everything people pleasing. I'm talking about you waking up every day feeling like you can't live authentically in your truth. And you've got to please other people to be comfortable. Like I started off with, I promise you, I've been in so many rooms where everyone else was full of joy, shining bright, shining their little light, because of me shrinking myself and acting like I wasn't gay. But they already know. But they know. But you make it comfortable for them. But you coddle them. So how are you helping the situation for yourself? You know, I think us people pleasers, it's time for us to get a little selfish. We're so selfless. Want to make sure everybody else is good. This is your life to live. This is your life to live. This was my journey. This was my truth. This was my story since 2005, y'all. Y'all know how long that is? 20 years. 20 years it took me to get to this point. And at the end of the day, it's people pleasing. It's codependency. Feeling like you got to protect someone else's feelings to live. Huh? Think about it. Think about it for a second. Is that a life that you want to live for the rest of your life? All right, let me finish taking these out, and then I'm going to come back to y'all when I am dressed and ready to leave. All right, y'all. Okay. We're back, we're done. This is the look. Very natural, you know, sun-kissed look. That was cute. I'm about to head out, and this is my perfume. Y'all know, Dolce & Gabbana, so this is the last finishing touch. Cheers to being you. Cheers to living authentically you. We want to, as our people-pleasing girlies, we are choosing ourselves. We are finding joy right where we are, and we don't need anybody or anything to validate us, because we are those girls. The moment you start living in your light, watch the room shake. Watch the earth tremble, and let it tremble, because you are that girl, okay? So thank you for tuning into this one. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments, like, what you took from this, because I feel like I was all over the place, partly because I was beating my face. Yeah, did that. So thank y'all for stopping by. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all so much. There's a reason why I'm doing this Letters to 30 channel, and it's for videos like this. This is what really gets my heart going, y'all. So I hope y'all feel that. I'll see y'all next time.